What's up, interwebs? I'm Tim Green. This is my channel, and you're watching the 12-week year, take 2, part 3, the conclusion of the last 4 weeks of my 12-week year. And you're gonna find out how those 4 weeks went. Did I or did I not achieve my goals set out for this 12-week year? I'll go into detail on when I plan to do my next 12-week year. With that said, I hope you have been enjoying this journey. You can check out these videos if you need to get caught up. I hope you enjoy this one. If you do, I'd love it if you would hit that like button and do it as a prayer to the holy algorithm. And subscribe because I got other writing content on this channel. With that said, let's get to the video. It is April 21st and we're in the final 4 weeks of the 12-week year. And it dawned on me over the weekend, I'm still operating under my old goal, the old main goal for this whole 12-week year thing, which is complete Let the Hunt Begin novel outline and pre-writing. So I can start the writing of the novel, the first draft, in year 2. If you did not see the last vlog, which I suggest you go check out right here. But basically, I'm back to square one with the novel. I'm not in pre-writing anymore. Because I found out it's not a good idea to have your exciting incident come at the end of section 2 of 5. Yeah, not a good idea. And the reason for this, it happened was it was a novella that when I decided to go to a novel, I decided to just tack a new beginning on the front of it instead of, tackling it reworking it from scratch as a novel. So the question becomes, what's the main goal? And I'm going to spend some time figuring that out because I need to get that done.
You can still go, even when you feel slow, you can still go, even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
All right, so I took a little bit to work through what I wanted the goal to be going forward. And I was going to jot down a whole bunch of ideas, just anything that could be the goal. And I got 2 done and I had nothing else. Because it really comes down to those 2. And those were lock in the story for Let the Hunt Begin, or lock in the story for the entire series of Fate Marked, or whatever the title will be. And the more I looked at the goal I had and my list, when I started off this, Fate Marked, or as it was referred to back when I wrote that, Let the Hunt Begin, was the main priority. That was the goal. That's what my main goal for this year was, and it needs to remain that. That needs to be the focus. So with that settled, here is the main goal for the remaining 4 weeks of the 12-week year. To lock down the story of Let the Hunt Begin. And there are a few key things that I need to achieve. I need to know the beginning and the end of the story, not counting the prologue. Update all character arcs for the new story. Have the number of sections for Let the Hunt Begin locked down with a summary. And then to start the outline dash scenes and notes section. So that's what the main goal is going to be. Now, I know that can seem a lot, and it is, but right now, this week is spring break for my work, and I did not get put on the schedule for the full day programs for the week.
Thank God.
So I have plenty of time. I do think I should be able to get this done, but I am going to make a quick change. I decided the goal is going to be altered. The change is I don't have to start the scenes list, the outline yet. I want to, but I don't have to. But there we go. We got the goal fixed and tweaked a little bit. But with that, let's see. It is 1:15. According to my schedule, I'm supposed to be wrapping up the vlog number 2, which I already did. And because it's supposed to be something else, but I'm not ready to record the stuff I was supposed to record. I'm going to start on Fate Marked by 3:30. So I'm going to take a break. And then I'm going to start on Fate Marked by 3:30. Oh, hell yeah. Hogwarts Legacy is part of this PlayStation subscription model now. I don't have to buy it. Oh, I was gonna play some Shadows. Oh, I'm totally playing some Hogwarts today. Hell yeah.
Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard.
It looks like goblin metal. That symbol.
What's the glow?
I don't see a glow. Nor do I. Merlin's beard. How did you... Wait! We did...
Ah, yes. A bit older than the others, aren't you? You come here with preferences and preconceptions. Certain expectation.
Is it ambition? I may seem single-minded, but it is important to go after what you want from life.
Interesting. You've recently learned that you possess a rare ability. I detect a growing sense of ambition, an eagerness for power. Perhaps you belong in Slytherin. You belong in Slytherin!
Yesterday I got nothing done after playing video games because something came up that really annoyed and pissed me off to the point when I tried to work on Fate Marked. It just wasn't coming. Like, I was just annoyed and blocked up. Like, I knew some ways to go about it, but I was just so blocked up. And I did something I normally don't do. I journaled during the day. I only journal in the mornings. I don't know why. If it's not in the morning, I can't journal. But after that, I just played more Hogwarts Legacy to burn it off, which did help. After releasing my frustrations in the journal. But today, when I woke up, I was off kilter again. Like, I only gotten a few things done I wanted to today. I got some God of War game edited for Adam. I did go to the gym, which was great because I needed to be in the gym. But I was also supposed to transcribe this morning, work on Storytime podcast episodes, which I haven't. And I just got done with some Fate Mark stuff, which I'll go to in a second. Mostly gonna get put off until until tomorrow and later in the week. Okay, so what I did today was basically the plan was to do what I was gonna try to do yesterday, but I couldn't focus, which was go back to what I did when I started the original story for Fate Marked, which was free writing these sections. I had this idea for a story because I have all those sections, but I wanted those kind of in order and I just didn't have that. So I just feel like, okay, let me just start where Kato is. Editing team here. I ramble here and I'm just gonna quickly talk about what I say in this section. My original goal was to go back to how I wrote Fate Marked, its original story, before it was called Let the Hunt Begin, by free writing. Whereas I take a section and just write a 1-sentence summary of what happens there, but I can write more. So I'm gonna do that with the new sections. Only I quickly realized where my characters are going from the prologue into chapter 1, because the time frame has changed. It went from 2 years now to 4-year gap between. I just said, you know what? Let's figure this out. Kato and Luca actually appear in the prologue, Aurelia doesn't, so I focus on those two. Luca's basically becomes her backstory, and Kato's is just from the prologue to chapter 1. I would eventually do one for Aurelia. When I finish those up, I just wrote at the bottom, the ending. This is the ending for Kato, Luca, and Aurelia. Kato's doesn't really change much, just details. Luca's was good, but then I quickly realized that's not her ending. It's more of a transition into the climax of the novel, so that needed work. And Aurelia's, not knowing her story, I just said, okay, I know she has an antagonist, she's gonna have a confrontation with her. We'll put that here with the ideas that hers will change. Then with that done, I then just wrap up saying what I was gonna do for the next day and the rest of the week, which was Aurelia's, what she does between the prologue and the chapter 1, and then starting the section summaries for the new story. Enough to get those things done by the end of the week. Okay, Saturday, April 26th Interesting week. I was meant to record some stuff, but I just kind of forgot. Got a lot of stuff done. Did not get as much as I wish I did, but at the same time, I got a new job, a second job, working part-time at Crunch Fitness. So, interesting week. I achieved none of the goals I set out to achieve this week for my goal on here, but I worked on 2 of the 3 3 of the goals. No transcribing was done at all this week. I kind of forgot to do it on Tuesday because it was first thing, but I ended up working on Fate Marked and I worked on future novels, but I did not do the goals except for future novels. I did part of that goal. Supposed to be fix the AI prompt and do a test run, as well as pick the first novel to start fleshing out just to get. I decided to do that part, but not the fix the AI prompt. All right, let's talk future novels. Hogwarts Legacy absolutely plays a role in on what project I picked. I'm back. So The Gathering. This is a YA trilogy that I came up with in 2009 after watching the movie Wizards of Waverly Place. The ending of that movie really kind of stuck with me. What if you took that ending and made a whole tournament like that? And then if you take the Triforce from Zelda and throw that in there as a source of magic, that would be cool. So I worked on that for years. When I did my list for what could be standalone novels, I threw it on there and said, you never know. Not wanting to do YA, I took everything I had, threw it into AI, said, here, give me some ideas of how I could turn this into a standalone novel. It quickly became not a standalone novel. It became a trilogy. Talking through it, came up with some cool ideas, and then AI said something, well, you have a great vision here. And I said, that's not my vision. My vision would be to take these 3 stories and cram them all into one epic novel, but I don't see how that's possible. I went to Scrivener, started writing, and before I knew it, I had taken those 3 books and fit them into one novel, an ambitious novel, and it was cool. I even had books 2 and 3 as well. So I had a full trilogy, an ambitious trilogy that I, at that time, and still feel not had the skill to pull off. Playing Hogwarts Legacy absolutely influenced this. All right, Fate Marked. I didn't achieve the goal, which was basically figuring out how many sections I was supposed to have, or figure out the ending to the Fate Marked series. Didn't achieve either. So let's talk about why I didn't write. And the reason why I didn't write, after Wednesday and working on The Gathering all day, I was creatively drained, so I did not do anything really work on Fate Mark on Thursday. So Friday came, I decided I have to get Aurelia's stuff done. I decided to focus on her new ending because I wanted to have a positive ending for her. So working with AI, we crafted a new ending for her. By the time we crafted this, the problem with Claude AI is it only allows you so many chats per day and week. For Friday, I'd used up all but one figuring this out for her. I still hadn't worked on her prologue to chapter 1. What's she doing in there? So I decided we'll take her backstory, her new ending, Kato's and Luca's prologue to chapter 1 stories, put that there as examples, and tell Claude, hey, Kato's and Luca's prologue to chapter 1, I need something like this for Luca. Give me options. It decided to write what happens, then give me options. I can respond to what it came up with, which was all crap, and I just I didn't work on it later on when I had more chats, but yeah, it was not good, but I do believe there's something in it that got me a good starting point. It is Monday, April 28th, and I'm exhausted. I shifted my sleep schedule over the weekend because I start Crunch Fitness tonight, and I won't be getting home until 11, and I'm just tired. But because of starting the second job, I made this week very low energy. My priority is Fate Marked, Let the Hunt Begin. My goal for this week for Let the Hunt Begin is lock in the character arcs, figure out what the beginning of the novel will be. Where are we in chapter 1? Aurelia's character arc is basically locked in. I will probably fine tune that this week. I gotta look at Luca's to make sure I know where I'm going with her, but he's gotta lock it in. I gotta really explore it a little bit more. And I gotta just fine tune Kato's. But today, I'm going to focus on Aurelia and what she was doing between prologue and chapter 1. That will help me get better at understanding where she is going to be when we get to chapter 1. It's 11:34. Let's get started.
Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch.
Alright, so I just finished working on Aurelia's stuff. It was good. I got a lot done. It's longer than the one I did for Kato and Luca. Because I think I didn't have as much planned for them because I understand their story better than I did Aurelia's. So I'm happy with it. I did get some ideas for Aurelia's minor noble family that she lives with, and why they make some decisions in this back story part. I'll write those down afterwards, because right now I'm about to go do a quick little walk before I have to get ready to go to work. My day's still not even be close to being done. It's gonna be a long day, guys. A long day, but that's okay.
They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter.
It is Tuesday, May 6th, and I can't believe we're in May already. April just by. And also the fact that we're in the penultimate week of my first year using the 12-week year method. Last week I got nothing recorded outside my initial video because I was just so beat and just forgot to record stuff. But I did get a lot done. The goal last week was to finish updating the character arcs for everyone. I did not achieve that. I did update Aurelia's character arc, what she's doing between the prologue and the chapter 1, as well as updating her backstory, and started working on Luca's updating her character arc. Wrapped it up yesterday. I started Kato's, updating his, which is more updating how he starts versus his arc is the same. This week is to finish the character arcs because there are several characters I kind of forgot about or feel I need to. Editing Tim here, I kind of start going about some side characters, explaining what their roles are, why I need to flesh them out more. And you don't need to know that at this point. Just that one character is getting increased role in the story, and then two characters have a big role that or seem as one, but need to be two, need to be fleshed out and have their own goals instead of sharing the same backstory. That's what I get here.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing.
Oh my god, AI is pissing me off right now. I sent it to break down Kato's new background with the changes that need to be made, and it had so many things fucking wrong or change things. What the fuck, AI? What the fuck, Claude? This is the one thing I hate about AI. It does this. It gets confused easily, and then you have to go through and remind it. And if you're not paying close enough attention, or if you having a bad day, or you can't really think, you might miss something like that, or not realize it. Just all right. It is May 7th, and I was working on the character arc backstory for Europa and Eros when a thought came to my mind. Why this process of now going back to plotting stage is seeming to take a lot longer and harder than it was the first time and has been in the past. My conclusion was I'm actually focusing on the character arcs first. Yes, I know the beginning. I know I have an idea what the beginning is. I know what the ending for all the characters are, but like usually I figure out the plot, not the plot. Yeah, I usually figure out the plot first and develop my characters while plotting, and the character arc either comes usually at the end of the plotting or during the scenes list or while writing. I'll kind of figure out, oh, that's the direction. But this time I'm going back to square one and gotta replot everything, thinking I've already had the character arcs, but making sure they fit the new direction. It makes so much more sense, and it's growth. It's honestly growth in my part as a writer. It's
Play the
great.
game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy.
It is Friday, May 9th, and AI is pissing me off. I think this is not just pissing me off, really been pissing me off lately. I think this is because I'm getting burnt out on Let the Hunt Begin, and that's okay. I have one more week, and I can take a little break. But what happened was I have to get all the character arcs done for this week so I can start figuring out the starting point of the Let the Hunt Begin's new outline. Okay, so here I just basically talk about how AI is not doing what I wanted to do. I asked to do something about making sure there is no conflicts or issues with the story, and it doesn't do it. I tell it to ask questions, to confirm it knows what I want, and it doesn't ask questions, doesn't give me what I want. This is the problem with AI, and it just pisses me off at times. That's what I'm getting here, and it leads to asking questions that I wasn't able to answer until after I got back from work. It is Saturday, May 10th, and I am done with Marcus and Olivia's character arcs and backstory. Where I left off yesterday, I mentioned those questions. It gave me 3 questions. I answered them, thinking it thought it was going to be enough to give me what I wanted. I predicted it wasn't going to be because, how do you know? Like, I'm not even really sure this is what I'm looking for in these characters. And it thinks it knows enough, and it gives me some stuff, and right, what we know, it's nothing. Alright, so I just kind of go on another AI rant because AI thinks it's smarter than me. It thinks it knows what I want when I didn't know what I want for these characters, and it just does not help. But just kind of how I brainstorm, and I do go off on a little tangent about my brainstorming process with AI, but it's just simple. I give it something, it doesn't give me anything I like, and it forces me to think through what I would actually want. I got through it, I finished out their arcs, and it allows me to now go on to the figuring out the beginning part of Let the Hunt Begin, the starting post-prologue. So basically chapter 1.
Chemistry, it's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
It is Monday, May 12th.
I think I just completed my 12-week year.
At least for Let the Hunt Begin. Last week was to wrap up the character arcs. Get those locked down, background fixed, all that stuff. So I did. So this week I could focus on the beginning of the story. Where are they going to be in chapter 1? Not the prologue, chapter 1. I think I just did it. I brainstormed so much stuff trying to get... Alright, so I basically started getting lost in here, but my sense is I brainstormed so much stuff during working on the character arcs for everyone. Everything just kind of lined up. What I thought was going to take a week just fell in my lap. I was at the library, but I kind of get lost in there. But I'm not locked into it at this point that this is going to be it. If this is the direction, if I'm convinced with this, let's look at each of these characters' climax and perfect that. Not the details, but just so I know a better understanding of how that's going to play out. Kato, I kind of already did, but it's Aurelius and Lucas and really paying off their character arcs. I can't believe it, like it's Monday. It is Wednesday, May 14th, and my opening for Let the Hunt Begins, chapter 1, is good. It's solid. I like it. I ran it through AI, getting some feedback on it. It seemed to enjoy it. It really liked it. It really liked what I came up with. There probably will be some kind of changes to it by the time I get to the plotting stages, so I'm expecting it, but I'm not going to spend any more time working on it during this year. And instead of working on that today, I worked on something part of Luca's story that has been planned since the plotting, going back to returning to the plotting stages. And I just didn't know how this was going to work. I liked it, but I didn't no clue how to get there. Thinking it was going to be a day or two of work, got done really quickly. Like, it came to me pretty quickly, which is a shock it did it so quickly, but allows me to work on more things. Like, I really need to nail down Luca's climax. I want to look at Kato's just to see if there's a better, if keeping it the exact same or making tweaks to it will be worth it, and really nailing down Aurelia's. So that's what I'm going to be doing the next 2 days. It is Friday, May 16th, and I have done it in a sense. I've achieved my goal for this week, which was the opening. And the bonus elements I didn't have to necessarily complete because I added it on, but that was the whole focus on the climax of the characters. I was able to lock in Aurelia's new climax, which I kind of knew, but I actually extended it way more than what our plan was. And I also updated Kato's climax because the original, which was just didn't work because Brutus coming in as a physical threat to Cato, what he does in the climax originally, and he could just do it all along, it just negates him Brutus ever being a threat, and I just don't want that. I was able to kind of keep the same format, but I was able to come up with a better solution to keep it. I didn't tackle Luca's because she kind of has 2 climax technically in the book, and I got one because I had to figure out how it was possible. But another one I gotta work on. I think I'm gonna wait until I get to plotting, but I'm probably gonna try to tackle it tonight when I get home. But I got those done. I'm happy with that. The openings are solid, so that was the goal I had to achieve, which I did earlier this week. I got this stuff, and all I have left to do is transcribe today, and I've achieved my goals for the week. I did work on a future novel last night briefly, and it was the Sky Vault Monastery, which I just started fresh with. Here's the ideas, remove this stuff with AI, and just kind of tackled some ideas. So it is 7:19, and I just finished transcribing today, so all my goals are now complete. So it's been a really good week. Finished strong after last video, which still I have to edit and get out. Ugh. But it's been a good, but it is over. The 12-week year is over. The first year is done. I don't know how I feel about it because it just seems so odd to say that. But I'm proud of myself because I said no matter what went wrong, I was going to continue through until the end. And I did. So I'm happy with myself. I learned a lot about myself. And I learned a lot about Let the Hunt Begin and my overall goal for the overall series that will eventually come out of this. Because it's going to be a series. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to come out. So going forward, I'm not going to be going right into another year because usually you take a week off where you reflect, rest, and plan for the next 12 weeks. I said in the past that I would do 3 weeks. It's going to probably be longer because I absolutely want to get through the book. So instead of doing another pseudo version of the method, I'm actually following the 12-week year. There you have it. The 12-week year, take 2, is done. We did it. Goals achieved.
You know, they were slightly changed.
I'm in a better place with Let the Hunt Begin and the overall idea for Fate Mart. So I'm happy with that. I hope you enjoyed this journey. If you did, comment down below. Let me know. Let me know if you have thought about using the 12-week year. If you have, I recommend getting the book, The 12-Week Year for Writers. Read through it first before doing one. If you enjoyed this, please, I'd love it if you'd hit that like button. Prayer to the holy algorithm. And subscribe because I got content on this channel. My other content will be on the screen now. So pick something. We'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.